Hi everybody, Phoenix here with a different kind of video today. Over the past few days, I have been writing a story based off some of my D&D characters, and I decided to record it with some voice acting of mine and put it here on TikTok. Now, I'm not the best at writing right now, because it's been 14 years since I've done any writing, and I know my grammar is kind of off, as well as when I'm speaking, I tend not to say the words all the way. I'm trying my best and I'm putting myself out there, so I'm kind of nervous to see what you all think. Please be gentle and please enjoy the story. As day breaks over the canopy of the magical forest of Esmir, the sound of nature stirring from its slumber, a gentle cool breeze passing through the trees marking a peaceful day. Oh no, I'm going to be late, echoes through the forest inside a burrow. Oh, why am I always doing this to myself? Mr. Helen is going to kill me, a soft voice says. Rustling from inside a burrow, standing amongst a mess of clothes and books, a young foxkin stands. A short male, their skin a light tan with blue purplish hair mix and grayish white tips on their ears and tail. Okay, I need my underwear, my leggings, my boot, and my tunic. As they frantically get dressed, as they grab some leftover bread and stuff into their pack. Okay, Ash, eat on the way. Mr. Helen will be so upset, he says as he rushes for the door. Dashing through the forest, Ash uses his magical skill, Nimble Grace, granting them increased dexterity and flexibility, moving through the forest with ease, avoiding rocks, roots, and trees. As he sprints to the forest edge, he stops for a moment. Okay, Ash, think of what to tell Mr. Helen. Why am I late? He says, leaning against a tall white tree with orange leaves. My dog ate my clock. Oh, but he knows I don't have a dog. Oh, I was doing battle with a basilisk, and their stone gaze just wore off. Oh, I'm too much of a coward to face those. Rubbing his head, I'll have to face Mr. Helen, so I'll think of something. As he reaches for a pair of baby blue framed glasses and places them on. As Ash makes it past the forest edge, a clearing opens up to a beautiful plain of tall grass and flowers. Nestled in the center, the small town of Tolk resides. Ash can smell all the fresh foods being made today, as well as seeing the morning crowd heading into town. Okay, Ash, time to head into town and right to Mr. Helen's, he says nervously. Walking into the town, past the tavern and inn, and past the woodsmith, to the center square, Ash sees before him the store named Light's Rest. Okay, Ash, just walk in and explain, and you'll be fine, Ash says, instinctively grabbing his tail as he walks in. Entering the store, Ash can't help but admire all the various potions, magic items, and books. He approaches the counter as he sees Mr. Helen going over some records. Mr. Helen is a high elf whose age is unknown. He's always kind and generous, but sometimes will not spare the rod. He is thin with a pale look on his skin and face. He walks with a cane and carries a large messenger-style bag filled with various items. Helen coughs into his hand as he looks up to see the tiny foxkin standing before him. Ash, you're late again, he says with a loving yet stern voice. Yes, Mr. Helen. You see, there are these 5 bandits, and they came into the forest looking for a fight, and you see, I had to save this family from them. Helen listens with a gentle smile on his face. And they had this beast with them, and you know I had to. With a flick of their wrist, Helen conjures a ball gag out of thin air and shoves it past Ash's teeth, filling his mouth and wrapping around his head before locking into place, preventing any coherent words from being said. Ash reaches and pulls at the straps, but can't get them to budge. Mm. Ash says with a gag, looking at Helen with pleading eyes. Ash, you've been late several times this month. When I hired you to work for me, you said I could count on you. Helen turns a page in his book while still writing. Ash can't help but listen as the gag is preventing him from talking. You said you could help me by picking herbs I needed as well as making deliveries for me, but you're late each time. Helen sets down his quill and looks at Ash. I understand, Ash. Sometimes life can get away from us, but if you make a commitment, it has to be kept. I have many customers who rely on on me for healing as well as various other services I provide. Helen walks over to a table and grabs a scroll before handing it to Ash. Ash grabs a scroll and lets out a sorry as his ears droop. Helen sits back down at his counter and picks up his quill. That scroll contains a list of herbs and fungi I need for some potions. Please be a dear and go gather them for me, he says with a smile. Ash, looking at the scroll, then back at Mr. Helen. He points to the gag still locked in place. With a smile, Helen flicks their wrist again as the gag disappears. Ash lets out a slight eek as this happens. Again, Mr. Helen, I'm so sorry. I'll get on this right away. Ash rushes out the door and slams it shut. That boy is something else, Helen says with a smile on his face, continuing to go over his records. Outside Mr. Helen's door, Ash places a hand on his cheek and smiles, his face blushing red as his tail is wagging uncontrollably as he's thinking about what just happened. With a shake of his head, he sets out for the forest south of Tolk, ready to fulfill the list given to him and maybe any other rewards he can think of.